So I've heard the questions about farming. So let me break down what we plan to do to grow the agricultural industry. The first thing, we're going to invest in research and development so that we can provide farmers with the tools, the techniques, so that they can be more productive. They'll know what to plant, when to plant, how to plant, and they can improve their yields. That's the first thing we're going to do with agriculture. The second thing, we're going to expand irrigation. Right now, only about 18% of all agricultural lands in Jamaica have access to irrigation. What we're going to do is ensure that small farmers can have access to irrigation. Why is that important? If you have access to irrigation, you can farm for the entire year. Right now, farmers have to depend on rain. And if rain don't fall, them can't grow them crops. And then the third thing we're going to do, we're going to improve the access to funding, because you need money to buy the equipment and the tools to farm better. But it's very difficult now for farmers to access funding. So we're going to do those three things. And you know why we're doing this? We're doing this so that we can grow what we eat and eat what we grow. We're doing this so we can reduce the foreign exchange that we spend importing food into the country. We're doing this so that the children who are going to school, that we're going to provide that one meal per day, it can be Jamaican food that they're eating and not imported food. We're committed to helping our farmers, and we're going to grow our economy by growing agriculture.
So Julian Robinson are now on TikTok. So you can go over there and find Julian Robinson on TikTok. And what he's doing over there is a good job. He's breaking down what they're going to do for Jamaica. He's breaking down his budget presentation so the people can understand. And he might break it down in a small words. So don't have to worry about the big words them one can't understand. He might break it down the right way. Him not do it like Mr. Big Nose with just a canon. I put out some big words but one don't understand, so one can just jump and say, yay! Prime Minister care about us. Now, him not do it that way. Now, when me look at Mr. Julian Robinson involve the farmers, me say, yes, that is what I want to see. That is what I want to see, because the Jamaican Labour Party are trying to get rid of the farmers. They are trying to get rid of the farmers. Remember, them take off GCT off of imported raw food. Right? So the farmer them would have left in a limbo. But the PNP are about to fix that back. Now, me hear some little people, or me see some little people a comment and I say, then why you make promises? Why you not do it? That is why I know say a lot of you labor writers are so dunce. You dunce until you can't dunce no more. Because they are the opposition. How them fit do it? Andrew Wallace make a budget presentation, or should I say Flavor Williams. They might make a bag of promises. Why them not do it? Why them have to wait until 2026? People, you like the video yet? Leave a like on this video and share the video as well, people, because we have a lot of information inside of this video, And we need to put out the information so the people can see it. So share the video, people, and like the video so YouTube can put it on the YouTube algorithm. Alright? Now, Julian Robinson even break down the $1 billion, because me hear a lot of people talk about the $1 billion, including the Prime Minister. The $1 billion that they plan to use to uplift entertainers and the content creators, them, all of them people. And break it down so each and every one so you can understand it. Now, a lot of people are complaining. Again, it's the labor right who are complaining, people. And the labor right them are complaining. I know the good Jamaican them want better. And the labor right them. So we not even watch them. But people, we have a lot coming up inside this update. Bless up to my viewers and my subscribers them. We hope everybody having a blessed and a wonderful evening. Now, my viewers and my subscribers, remember, in everything you do, always put God first. In every and any situation, just always remember to call upon God. Always remember to pray, because a prayer day keep the devil away. Now, my viewers and my subscribers, we have a lot coming up inside this update, so you definitely don't want to miss none. So remember, watch the video until the end. And remember, leave a like on this video, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed as yet. Remember, people, share the content. Share the content so it can reach a wider audience people. We want the message to reach out there. We can't afford for them people to win again. So welcome back to my viewers and my subscribers them. Big up to all of my viewers, big up to all of my subscribers them. We continually support the channel and help the channel to grow. Now people, I hope you all are having a blessed and a wonderful evening. Alright? Now, more people are coming out and speaking out against the Prime Minister sticking with his US visa over the health of the Jamaican people. So him dash the Jamaican people them under the bus. Him dash the Cuban doctors, the Cuban healthcare workers under the bus over his US visa. But people are saying that most of the money where Andrew Wallace allegedly steal from Jamaica, or most of the nasty money where him take, they are in accounts overseas, over America there. Plus him have house over there in America. So him no want to give up him US visa because him got stuck right here so in a Jamaica. Right? So what me I try to show us the people, this government cares zero about me, about you, about your children, your grandchildren, your family, your neighbors. He cares zero about any of us. Them just care about themselves. And that is the reason why we need to stand up and we foot them and come off our knees and chase this government out of power. We need to chase them out of Garden House. We need to stand up and we 2 foot them and make them know, say, listen, enough is enough. We cannot betray the Cuban doctors like this. The labor right them always do it. But people, check out this video and we come back and talk some more and leave your honest opinion.
A friend in need is a friend indeed. Cuba has been Jamaica's friend for many decades. The Cubans have built houses, schools, and provide many health practitioners to the island. Recently, U.S. Secretary of State suggested that they will sanction leaders of country who import Cuban doctors to be a part of their healthcare system. The Barbados president, Mia Mottley, hit back and said, tell you what, I am willing to lose my visa, but I will stand up for the rights of Bajan people.
This matter with the Cubans and the nurses should tell us everything that we need to know. Barbados does not currently have Cuban medical staff or Cuban nurses, but I will be the first to go to the line and to tell you that we could not get through the pandemic without the Cuban nurses and the Cuban doctors. Now, I don't believe that we have to shout across the seas, but I am prepared, like others in this region, that if we cannot reach a sensible agreement on this matter, then if the cost of it is the loss of my visa to the US, then so be it. But what matters to us is principles. And I have said over and over that principles only mean something when it is inconvenient to stand by it.
St. Vincent President Gonzalez stood up and says the same thing. He will defend the sovereignty of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The Trinidadian Prime Minister did the same thing.
We rely a lot for our health care delivery on certain specialists who over the decades we have obtained from India, from the Philippines, sometimes from Africa, and mainly from Cuba. Out of the blue now we are being called human traffickers because we hire technical people who we pay top dollar equal to local rates, but we are now being accused of taking part in the program where people are being exploited. I just came back from California, and if I never there again in my life, I will ensure that the sovereignty of Trinidad and Tobago is known to its people and respected by all.
Not Jamaican leaders. Jamaican leaders immediately switched and started to look to India, the Philippines, and Nigeria to replace the Cuban doctors. Remember, Cuba has been with Jamaica through thick and thin and through all their catastrophes. And as Marco Rubio says that they will sanction leaders, remember this, it's not the island, it's not the tourist sector, it's not trade. Just sanction the visa of the leaders, and immediately the Jamaican leaders threw their staunchest ally right under the bus. What kind of friend is that? This tells me that in the Jamaican modern day leader's psyche, I am your friend only if I can get something or if I can get my food. Meaning that they have no fortitude or no loyalty to their friends. They will throw you under the bus if their interest, not the nation's interest because it's their visa, if their interest is threatened. What kind of friend is that? Who will turn their back on you in an instant because their interest, not the nation interest, is now at stake. People, drop your comments. Tell me what you think. Because this is not a friend. This is a frenemy.
Now, I see a lot of people making comments saying that the citizens of Jamaica now can't travel to the United States anymore. Rubbish. 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 I just the leaders them. I go lose them visa. So I rubbish on attack. Me see a lot of people are saying that if the government not do it, then Trump are going to chase out all of the Jamaican them out America. Rubbish. Rubbish on the need to read. On the need to read and stop on a foolishness. Because what we are doing is no good. What you all are doing is no good when you go around and spread those type of propaganda. The USA never said that. So if the Jamaican decide to stick with the Cubans, only the politicians will lose their visas. Not the citizen. And the citizen overseas will not chase out of USA. So no make nobody fool, you know. Let me clarify the part. Alright? And US will not cut off food coming to Jamaica as well. No go so. I lie them I tell. No go so. The labor right them just a try to say something to make it look like if Holiness no cut off Cuba, then it'll go be a disaster here in Jamaica. No go so. It best we keep with best doctors them. Alright? I bet you say as soon as these Cuban doctors leave Jamaica, it'll go be a mess in the healthcare sector. Just watch and see. Anyway, we're moving on. Most of you that are defending Holiness saying that he should dash the Cuban doctors them under the bus and he should dash the people of Jamaica under the bus by sending home the Cuban doctors. Ono need to focus on the economy. Ono need to focus that Jamaica are in a state of recession at this moment, while the Prime Minister himself are lying to you all that Jamaica is not in a recession. Now, people, this big nose brother, I don't know what to say about him because him just don't know how to talk truth. Him just don't know how to come out and say the truth to the people of Jamaica. And that's why I always ask myself, how do the people believe this man? Now, people, take a prep on this video.
But sometimes, bad government with bad policies can throw economies into a recession. Now, what has caused the last 2 quarters of the economy not to show growth? It's simple. One, we had Hurricane Beryl.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
In July. And that impacted the agricultural sector in a significant way. And what happened after Hurricane Beryl? We had a sustained period of heavy rains. which literally destroyed our road infrastructure.
I say, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
We had 3 consecutive quarters of decline in the economy before Hurricane Beryl. So when we got the 3.5% decline during the 3rd quarter of last year, everybody was, oh, I've been telling the people about that level of deceleration for months and that we're going to end up in a recession. Because if you're not spending your capital budget, you have a problem.
We have to go, but some people say we're not a recession. There are other things that you have to put
let me explain that.
Quickly.
Well, there's a difference between a slowdown and a recession.
Quickly.
No,
yeah.
we're in a recession. The National Bureau of Economic Research, which was created by Wesley Clare Mitchell in 1920, the greatest classical economist, tells us that a recession had 2 consecutive quarters decline in real GDP, and also we talk about sectoral diffusion. How many sectors? During the last 2 quarters, the 3rd quarter and the 4th quarter, 11 of Jamaica's 12 economic sectors declined. The industrial sector declined by 12%. Agriculture is down by 25%. We check the numbers. So we know that we're in a recession. And the fact that you are denying a recession, that is why you have not been able to develop the policies that are necessary to take us out of it.
But the folks who are denying the recession are intelligent people. It's not that me just get up and say.
No.
But we have to go.
No, but they are injecting politics in the debate. We're talking about economics.
Yeah.
Germany is the 3rd largest economy in the world. Germany has been in a recession for 3 years. Last week, the new German chancellor developed a 500 billion stimulus plan to invest in Germany's infrastructure to take Germany out of the recession.
If there were truly a recession, and production fell, one would suggest that businesses would also be closing and unemployment would be rising.
I don't understand why you even did this to yourself. This made you look so fucking stupid.
Can we be in a recession with the unemployment rate at 50-year lows? Surprisingly, the answer is yes. Many out there are waiting for the unemployment rate to spike before declaring a recession. Interestingly, when the unemployment rate reaches its highest point and begins to roll over, that's when you get your next economic expansionary period. When do you get a recession? In every single market cycle. Take a look at this chart. You can see a recession begins when the unemployment rate hits its lowest point and begins to turn higher. With 100% certainty, this is the case in every single market cycle. Don't listen to the media. Don't listen to Janet Yellen. They are all talking their book. But just because the unemployment rate is low, which we know the jobs data is distorted, that does not mean that we are not in or headed for a recession.
No, it look like Andrew Wallace glad say Beryl did blow. Because for the past year, the only thing when me hear this man I blame is Hurricane Beryl. Say a Hurricane Beryl make Jamaica in the position where he in right now. Stop blaming Hurricane Beryl. The economy a decline from before Hurricane Beryl. So you are just lying to the people them. And that's why every time you lie, your nose grow even more. Now you have one little brother over nationwide. When you're in charge. This brother here, we are campaigning for the labor right them. We don't need to tell him to come down. People, check this out.
You've asked me to think on the things that you've put forward, which I can say is a far sight better than what has been asked of me from the presentations in previous budget debates. And I'm thinking, but I have questions, and I know how the PNP works, Once you say you have questions, and once cheer something to the rafters, them say, yeah, criticize them. That's not what I'm doing this morning. I'm asking questions and I'm seeking clarity, and I want to be taken along the path that you are on, where you say the benefit will, or the measure will provide the benefit in the way you've suggested, the way you've postured it. Yeah, I have a lot of questions as well about the energy aspect, because I saw some language in the plan for energy and plan for economic growth that I'm trying to break through the language to see what the strategy is and trying to imagine what the tactics are to support the strategy. I'm not seeing that yet. I'm not saying there is no strategy and no tactics. I'm just saying that based on how it was presented, I'm not seeing it yet. But at least I'm satisfied that you've asked me to think. And that's a good place to start. So let's see how Mark Golding closes the circle, because it does appear as if it's coordinated, it's a set piece presentation. I'll do this aspect, and then you come in now, comrade leader, and you complete the whole. I'm waiting for the orb to come together.
Now, Judge, you will love lap your tail like your girl. Jamaican I like you, you know, because you behave like a drunkro. Every time PNP say nothing, you pitch down upon them. Now, I haven't heard you question Flavor Williams all now. Me no hear you say one thing about Flavor Williams, even though she put out a shitty budget. Nothing inside of it for the less fortunate. Or should I say for the poor? Nothing. But you are quick to jump down and Julian Robinson. You're a hypocrite. And that's why people run your way. You're a mama man, a sissy man, a waste man. You're nothing good to Jamaica. You're a disaster to this country. And Jamaican people run you. You're not fit for work on a radio. Well, you're not working on a radio station. You're working on a blogging station. It is a blogging station over there at Nationwide. And that's why people don't like you again, because you're a shit house. When there's a set of nastiness over there at Nationwide. Even this man even tried to saying that PJ Patterson is the crime prime minister. Now, people, look on this, people.
One served for 9 years. One served for 14 years. Under whose administration more Jamaicans got murdered? Who is the murder prime minister?
We'll also remember you, Mr. Percival, as the murder prime minister. Because it was on your watch that we hit murders 1,000 for the year for the first time and sustained it. 1992, 629 murders. 93, 654 murders. 94, 690. 95, 780. 96, 925. 97 for the first time ever. 1,000, 1,038 for good measure. 98, 953. 99, 849. 2,887. 2001, 1,139. 2002, 1,045. 2003, 976. 2004, 1,471. And as a last lick, Mr. Percival, in 2005, your last full year, 1,674. So in the time you were at the wicket, Mr. Percival, 13,710 Jamaicans murdered in their own country. Private security exploded because everybody are grilled up. I try keep possession and limbs and lives safe. On your watch, the record will show more Jamaicans lost their lives to the gun and to murder on your watch than everybody else. That's how we will remember you.
So I just listen to George Davis from Nationwide, dissing up the legend, Most Honorable PJ Patterson. But what I want to address is George Davis referring to PJ Patterson as the murder prime minister. And he gave some figures and said because of those figures, more people died under PJ Patterson than anybody else. Now, I'm not attack George, but I want to call him because I'm going to attack him argument. So, I double check the figures because I don't believe them neither. But the figures look alright. And what he said is that 13,710 people were murdered while PJ Patterson was prime minister. Now, one of the things I never tell you, so you have people who can lie by omission. But one of the things that George Davis never tell you is that it's 14 years PJ Patterson was prime minister for. So 14 years, 13,710 people died. And he referred to him as the murder prime minister. Now listen this. 2016, Andrew Holiness became Prime Minister in February. 1,354 people died in 2016. 1,647 in 2017. 1,287 in 2018. 1,339 in 2019. 1,323 in 2020. 1,474 2021. 1,498 2022. 1,393 2023. 1,141 2024. That gives you a total of 12,456 in 9 years. Now, how you do the comparison? So to compare Andrew Holiness 9 years with PJ Patterson 14 years, you have to do an average. So you divide the 13,710 under PJ by 14, and the average comes out at 979 people murdered each year under PJ Patterson. You do the same thing for Andrew Holiness. 12,456 divided by 9, and the average comes out at 1,384 people murdered each year under Andrew Holiness after he promised us to sleep with our doors and our windows open. So George Davis, based upon this, may I ask you now, who is the murder prime minister? Who would you refer to as the murder prime minister? The average would tell you that if Andrew Holiness finished this year, he's going to go to 13,800 and change based on his average. And that is 10 years compared to 14. So, brethren, I know you're a big journalist, former president of the Press Association. But is it that you have an ulterior motive for disrespecting PJ Patterson? My question to you is, when you look at the figures that I have now presented, and those figures from PJ Patterson, do you stand by what you said? Because I am going to suggest that if any prime minister could be referred to as the murder prime minister, then it would have to be this present prime minister, Andrew Michael Holiness.
Now, me just want Judge Wasteman and the Wasteman him over there at Wasteman Wide. If you know, say, every lies that them come with, we're going to expose them. You no need to tell Jamaica why you not like PJ. You no need to tell Jamaica say PJ did sue on a boss for $10 million. And you still cannot pay off that money until now. So that's why you come out and try to attack him. Like you want to send him home before time. But the Jamaican people are here to stand up with Mr. PJ Patterson. And we, the people of Jamaica, will not allow you, John Cross, over there at Wasteman Wide to bring down our former Prime Minister. All of who know over there is a set of Wasteman, John Cross, and I don't even have as much name to call you know, because you're coming like a pit silent over there. So who know over Wasteman Wide? Take care of yourself. Move. Andrew Holiness is the murder prime minister. He is the one that are sacrificing our youths. So when you want something to talk about Wasteman Judge, just remember one thing. Talk about Andrew Holiness that paid you and the whole entire Wasteman Wide for campaign against the People's National Party. On is a set of shit house. Nastiness no be. Go. Jamaica no believe in a Hunu. Just like we no believe in a Andrew Holiness. And we will never ever believe in a him. Never. But people, state your thought and that down below in the comment section. And as usual people, remember, leave a like on this video. give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't subscribed as yet, and turn on the post notification bell. Run with the waste man them from a waste man wide. Alright?
The only way to grow our economy is to ensure that businesses can grow. So we are very focused, particularly on our micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises, or MSMEs. We recognize that one of the biggest challenges facing MSMEs is access to capital. So we're going to reform the DBJ. All those upfront fees that you have to pay to access loans, we're going to roll them into the loan, extend your repayment period so that you can borrow the money, build your business, and grow. But we're going further than that. We're going to waive the corporate income tax on your businesses for the first 3 years so that you can focus on growing your services, growing those products, and building a great business without having to worry about paying the government corporate income tax. Businesses, we have a plan for you. We recognize that productivity is one of the most important components of growing a stronger economy. So we're going to put in place an incentive for you to train and upskill your own workforce. For every dollar that you spend upskilling your workforce, we as a government will match it. Why are we doing this? We're doing this because we recognize that a more productive workforce means more goods and services and building a better economy. So the PNP has a plan to grow the economy, to make your businesses more efficient. And as we grow the economy, we can provide the services that will ensure that every Jamaican enjoys the standard of living that they want.